Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we are taking a look at Catwoman and my Mountain Dew Dark Berry. Rob, are you going to continue to use this as a prop? Yes, I am. And I'm going to take a drink of it. So, yesterday I had decided that I was going to review Commissioner Gordon, the Walmart exclusive, and I thought, well, I was kind of hoping to be able to pick up a Catwoman to be able to review along with Commissioner Gordon, but I thought I'll just go ahead and do Commissioner Gordon. Hopefully I can find Catwoman. And I did. Last night getting off of work at 5 a.m. I stopped at my local Walmart, went there, it's on the way home. I thought, well, I'll just stop in real quick. No Catwoman on the shelf. They just had a Bane and two Batmans, and right next door is a Meyer. And I realized after doing some of these reviews that not everybody has a Meyer, and it's spelled M-E-I-J-E-R, so it looks like you should say it as Miger, and it is like literally in the same like parking lot complex, and it's pretty much, I guess I would say, identical to Walmart. What you can find at a Walmart, you'll basically find at a Meyer. So I just went from one parking lot right to the other, walked in, and this Catwoman was sitting right on the shelf, their bottom shelf where they have their action figures, and she was the first one. I thought, well, holy crap, the goggles up version is right there. Looking back through some of the rest of the figures, which they had a lot more than what Walmart did, the goggles down version of Catwoman was also there. So then I pretty much knew if I saw both Catwomen, I was going to get the goggles up version. And the goggles down version is okay. It's basically the same figure from, you know, the neck down. I wasn't fully sure if the goggles did move. I mean, these goggles do move a little bit. We'll show you once we get into the review. I did like to be able to see her eyes and to see the goggles the way they are to represent the cat ears. On the goggles down version, I wasn't sure if I could get the goggles to stay up. I haven't seen any other reviews yet on the goggles up version if somebody has been able to take the goggles and put them on top of her head. I know they won't look like this. We'll get into that just a little bit. So yeah, I was very happy and surprised. I almost didn't stop. I thought I'll just go home from work and get right to bed, and maybe Thursday, my last night of work for the week, I'll stop and check. I'm glad I did check because the shelf appeared to be completely full of all the action figures, so I'm imagining that they had already stocked the shelves. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the review. This was on the inside of the car. Let me turn the light off here real quick. This was the back panel for the figure. So she sat in her case like that. As you can see, the artwork here in the back, it had a picture of the city, so it kind of sat like that to basically hide the base for the bat signal, which I don't know why. I think I probably know why they did, because it would have been sitting in the package like this, and it would have been covering quite a bit of the artwork. So I bet they thought, well, let's just put this little backing piece back here so you can see more of the artwork in the box, and then these little sides here will also hide the artwork. While we've got the package is pretty much the same. It has all the same detailing, with the exception it now lists Catwoman as the fourth figure, which shows the base here, and Batman is now missing from the top figure. You would have thought that they just would have made these smaller and put Batman up here so you had a 1, 2, 3, 4. So by the time we get to the sixth figure, you would have seen all 6 figures from a line. So I guess they're just going to rotate them out. So eventually, Catwoman will be up in the top position. John Blake and the mystery figure, which I believe the mystery figure is going to be Ra's al Ghul. I'm just assuming that would make sense for it to be Ra's, unless they're going to do a kind of a rough look at Bruce Wayne, or maybe Bruce Wayne with a cane. Since the movie is less than a month away, maybe we'll get some a better idea of who the fourth figure could be, but I think it's probably going to be Ra's al Ghul. If they're trying to connect, or if they're going to connect all 3 films together, Ra's would make perfect sense. So there is that. Let's put Catwoman back up on the stand. Well, first, let's, as we do a little jumping around here, let's get into, since I'm holding it in my hand, and we knock Catwoman over, which she does stand pretty well. Sat her right up. She stayed the very first time. So here's the base, and it's quite a large base. I wasn't sure how big this base was going to be. I knew it was going to be a little bit bigger to hold this, but it's really a nice size. Here's the other piece that comes with it. As much detailing as they have done throughout this whole bat signal, the switch has to be the weakest part of the bat signal. So I'm imagining you're going to see it from this side. You kind of see the outside of the box, and you see a little red switch here that looks like it would pull down. Like I think they could have put a little hinge here so you could have flipped that up and down if you wanted to. But I was assuming that there would be all kinds of digital things or a big on-off button. You can kind of see where the two pieces were put together. So imagine if I really wanted to, you could pry this thing apart here, right where this line is, because you can see the pegs where it goes together. I just would have used this peg and painted a big on-off switch there, or done something with this. So, I don't know, kind of short on it. Sometimes as much as we bang on Mattel, I mean, they've given us this really cool looking bat signal, and with a lot of other detailing work that they did to make it look like rust and different type of things, and then kind of chintz out on this part. But hey, I'm not going to fault them for that. We're getting a working bat signal. So let's actually try and put this together. I believe everything just snaps right into place. So like this actually turns around, and you have a slotted piece back here, and then there's the raised piece where the two will snap together. Very, very impressive. And then the on-off switch goes right here. That peg's in the back. Maybe. There it is. Very, very cool. Two more pieces, and the bat signal will be ready to shine in the night sky in Gotham City. So happy we're getting a correct scale bat signal for the figures. And if you see my review earlier, I had that little tiny bat signal. And once we get this bat signal put together, we'll do a comparison of the two. But even in the initial review, you just saw this part, and that little bat signal was only going to set about right here. So we'll leave the bat signal there. And while we're on the subject of bat signals, this is going to look really cool. I think I may, when I put things on my shelf, this may become what I put the bat signal on, my Motley Crue stage base that looks like a rooftop. So all my figures could sit up here if I'm recreating a scene to have Batman and Robin and Commissioner Gordon. Look very cool. Okay, Rob, let's get to Catwoman, shall we? Yeah, let's do. So here is Catwoman. Now, I don't know if this is a total likeness to Anne Hathaway. I believe out of everybody that is sculpted, Batman and you can't really see much of Bane are the two closest to looking like the actual actors that play them. But this is still a very, very cool Catwoman. There's not a lot of coloring going on with Catwoman here. Let's get in close to her face. You can see some of the blue into the goggles. While we're on the subject of goggles, the goggles down Catwoman, this piece right up here is flipped around the opposite direction, so the goggles will go over her eyes. In the package you could see, hopefully I don't tear this off, but you can see the blue pieces right there. Those are sticking out in the goggles down version. So if you were to flip the goggles down, the goggles up in the other Catwoman, you won't see those blue pieces. So yeah, I could put her with the goggles like this. You kind of see it, it's literally like she's got her sunglasses on inside out. So I think they thought this looked kind of weird or silly to have it this way, so they just inverted this piece for the goggles up. But how am I going to have her on my shelf? 100% of the time, I'm going to have her like this. I want to be able to see her eyes. They did really nice work on her eye detail, plus the extra detailing around the mask. Very cool also. And like I said, there's not a lot of color. It's all basically a flat black and a gloss black. She does have a rubber belt that is molded into place so it does not move. The only extra color she has are the silver spikes on the back of her legs. And then her number. But she has a good range of motion. So, I mean, that's it pretty much for color. Some people said they really didn't like this costume, and I'm like, I don't know what's not to like, because if you pull the Arkham City costume, or just even a traditional Catwoman modern costume, it's essentially the same thing. The only thing is, she's covered up here, her zipper's not down. Kind of show you a size and scale comparison. That is the Arkham City, DC Direct, now DC Collectibles Batman. Of course, you have the Mattel Arkham City Catwoman. Pull her out of the way, and then the DCUC Golden Age Catwoman. And they are very much the same height. I mean, the Movie Masters is a tad bit taller, so if you have a regular Batman, she will stand, for a DCUC Batman, she will stand really nice next to the DCUC Batman. So that'll be her size and scale comparison there. We'll bring out Batman here. And I gotta tell you, Catwoman is a little bit taller than Batman. I don't know if this is a real life height comparison or not. If they appear this way in the movie, if Anne Hathaway's character is taller. Granted, she is wearing heels, so that will make her a little bit taller. We have Bane here also. And she's really close in height to Bane, but I think that's also due to the part to her having heels. So, but I think this is a really nice figure. I'm happy to have picked her up this morning at 5:30 in the morning. So I was walking back to the toy aisle, I thought, they're not going to have a Catwoman. I almost just turned around. I thought, no, if they do, I'll be upset that, you know, I missed out my chance. I better take every opportunity as the movie's coming out, because they're slowly releasing more figures, and I'm very glad that I did. She was $15.99 on the shelf, and I think with tax it was $17.04 or something like that. As you can see, she has all the normal DCUC articulation. She does have a bend at the chest here, and as typical with all DCUC women action figures, and just women figures in general, they get their proportions right, but the arms look so frail. Like, I'm afraid to move her in too many different poses. Like, I'm just going to get her on the shelf, and she's going to be standing there. Once I get her in a pose, she'll probably just stay in that pose. And this just may be the pose that I have her standing in. I've seen other reviewers review other Catwomen and just women figures in general, and have seen some pop an arm off. So I'm always a little leery about that. You could just feel the brittleness in the figure. Mine feels very strong in all the joint spots, but, you know. So anyway, we're going to end this review right here. Today we've been taking a look at the Dark Knight Rises Movie Masters Catwoman, and up next we're going to have the Walmart exclusive Commissioner Gordon. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogue signing off and saying we will see you guys next time.